Welcome, welcome, welcome to our new Teacher Academy, and this is just going to be an overview of practices for classroom management. So the 5 evidence-based practices for classroom management. It's just a little icebreaker. You're going to choose a number between 1 to 3. And then depending on what number you picked, you're going to answer those questions with your neighbor. So what to expect? We have antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence. Foundational, teaching new behavior or skills, and responses. The goal is to prevent, teach, and reinforce. So the 5 principles of classroom management. Number 1, identify and teach expectations. 2 is to establish procedures and structure. 3 is to actively engage students. 4 is to reinforce expectations. 5 is to manage misbehavior. So here's just a little scale. Less, more rates of unwanted behavior. The average student is the 50th percentile. The average student who practices classroom management is at the 21st percentile. Here's a little quote that I found. If a child doesn't know how to read, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to swim, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to multiply, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to drive, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to behave, we punish. Why can't we say teach as easily with behavior? So we have to shift our instructional approach. So again, identifying and teaching expectations. So our foundation of classroom management is a set of common expectations that generally describe desired behavior across all routines, settings, tasks, etc. within the classroom. It shapes values and climate of the classroom. The goal is to have no more than 5 positively worded, short developmental appropriate translate into specific behaviors. So defining the rules. Define rules for the classroom that go across all events, and define rules for each event. It's just an example of some classroom expectations that you can create for your classroom. Here's another example of a 5th grade behavior chart of expectations. And please note you will have access to this presentation so you can go and upload or enlarge the image that you see here. So teaching expectations. Use a clear lesson plan to teach the expectations in the same manner as academics. So within our Blend Space platform, I have also provided a template for a lesson plan, should you need it. So here's some examples and non-examples. During independent work time, you work quietly and without disrupting others. This is respectful. During independent work time, you distract others by making noise and tapping your pencil. There's some other examples of good examples of behavior and bad examples of behavior. Here's a few more examples. You show respect by inviting your classmates to have lunch with you. You include anyone who wants to eat with you. But a bad example is you grab a table at lunch and only allow 2 people to sit with you. You mock anyone else who wants to sit with you and make fun of them. So being respectful, responsible, and safe. So we're going to take a quick minute for you to go and answer this question in Padlet. Because what is respect towards peers? Think of an example and a non-example for your classroom setting. And you can input that information in the link below, or you can scan the QR code and it'll take you to the same location. I'm going to move on. Topic 2, ensuring structure and routine. You want to create a space that is predictable and facilitates the desired behavior. Here's just an example of a classroom setting where you have groups and the table for the teachers go, where teachers are sit. Just the plus signs should represent areas of challenge. Small groups in front of the board makes it difficult to see and blocks students from having desks closer to the board. So that setting's not quite the way it should be. Some students have their back facing the board. That's not a good thing either. Common areas, ward fountain are students' desks and have access without disrupting others. Single desk is the middle of high traffic area. Difficult to supervise students in the book center as the bookshelf blocks the view. So here are some guiding questions you can use when you're looking at designing your room in your classroom setting. Are areas of high traffic areas free of congestion? Can all students be easily seen by the teachers? Are frequently used materials easily accessible? Can all students see whole class presentations easily? Do students have ample room around their desks? Are desks organized in a way that facilitates teaching in circles of small groups? During small group instruction, can the teacher still see all students? And does the layout accommodate students with special needs? So temporal space routines, we want to make sure you teach students procedures for common tasks in class, such as entering the classroom, handing in work, asking for a hall pass, getting teacher attention, etc. So define a procedure and its steps. Here's some examples. So when pass is available, raise hand and wait to be called upon. Number 2, ask respectfully to go to the restroom. Write name on the write name and time on sign-in sheet. Take pass, return within 5 minutes. Write the name in, return pass. So model, lead, and test. For a child to learn to unlearn old behavior and replace with new behavior, the new behavior must be represented on an average of 28 times. It's from Harry Wong, The First Days of School, How to Be an Effective Teacher, and there is a recording by Harry Wong that is also embedded in your BlendSpace platform. Now actively engaging students. Anytime a student can respond to an academically oriented task, question, or prompt, make sure you give them some verbal praise. Communication can be verbal, written, or an action. So structuring peer responses. One method to increase responses and engagement is by using peer-to-peer responses. The first person answers in 60 seconds. The second person uses the act of listening. When partner is done, summarize what you heard 30 seconds prior. Part two is the same thing. And there's the final product. So collaborative learning technique in which students are organized to be dependent on each other for success. This is a jigsaw method. Students are divided into jigsaw groups and each member is given a specific segment of a topic. They then form temporary expert groups with others assigned to the same segment. So then they form temporary expert groups with others assigned to the same segment. Then they learn their segment in expert groups. They learn how to communicate with each other. So strategies to acknowledge behavior. Acknowledge and provide feedback to students on use of expectations and appropriate behavior. So be specific with those that feedback. Praise, acknowledge, feedback are synonymous. All used to let students know that they are performing a skill correctly. So students know praise, acknowledgement, and feedback. You can even create a comprehensive acknowledgement system to strengthen desired behavior. Here's a few examples. So make sure you be specific when you're giving praise. Those are all some great. So behavior specific praise, 1 to 4 minutes, 1 per 4 minutes when students are on task. And the numbers increase steadily. You can offer also some cool incentives, give them stickers, give them little praise reports, improvement, best improved certificates, anything you can do that will help ensure and keep students motivated. Here's some more examples. Here's some more examples of incentives that students can receive for good behavior. And finally, strategies to manage. Have a range of strategies to use, organized to use reinforcement prior to use of punishment. Create a structured, comprehensive system to manage misbehaviors that is built on reteaching and reinforcing desired behaviors prior to punishing. So the behavior theory of antecedent unwanted behavior reinforcement. And then you should go to desired behavior and planned and natural reinforcement. Competing consequences, so work requests, complete requests, gain skills, or ignore work or argue and avoid work, or peer and peer attention. I say the middle one and the bottom one. Look at the phone, peer attention, get games, music, etc. So the goal is to make this the most important, most appealing, the one right there in the middle. The antecedent strategies is to redo and error corrections, and then giving verbal praise. So use the 5 principles: comprehensive and effective classroom management. Misbehavior is an opportunity to reteach. High rates of responding and behavior specific praise are your 2 most effective tools. Supplemental handouts has resources and templates for you. So that concludes our brief overview of the 5 evidence-based practices of classroom management.